Our journey to greatness starts with one small step. As we say goodbye to 2023, let's think about what we can do today to become better tomorrow. Like the final pages of a book, 2023 is ending, and we're at the beginning of something new. This is a time to think and look forward to what's coming. Life is like an adventure where every day gives us a chance to shape our future. Great thinkers like Hafez and Rumi knew this. They were not just dreamers, they really understood life's flow. Picture yourself on a quiet evening at the end of 2023, thinking about the past year and what's next. It's not only about making New Year's promises that we might forget, it's about creating habits that will change our lives. Here are 10 simple habits inspired by wise words from Hafez, Rumi, and others. These habits are for moving from 2023 to 2024. They're not just ideas to think about, they're actions to make part of your life. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay connected with more inspiring content like this. Your support means the world to us. Stay focused and strong as you watch, because each part of this content could be the key to unlocking your potential. Let's start this journey together and see how far we can go. One, start small. George Washington, a leader who shaped a nation, admired the simple wisdom of the Scottish proverb, "Many small things make something big." This captures a profound truth. Great achievements are made of small parts. Similarly, the Stoic philosopher Seneca advised, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." He believed in the power of small, courageous steps leading to significant achievements. Like planting seeds, each tiny effort can grow into something remarkable. For instance, if you aim to read more, start with a page a day. Rumi, the great poet, said, "Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I am changing myself." This aligns with the idea of focusing on small, personal changes. Building habits is like creating a mosaic, where each small piece contributes to the grand picture. Remember, a long journey begins with a single step, a concept echoed by another Stoic, Epictetus, who said, "Progress is not achieved by luck or accident, but by working on yourself daily." James Clear's concept in Atomic Habits also resonates with this Stoic wisdom. The power of habits lies not in their size, but in their foundational nature. Our smallest actions are the building blocks of profound transformation. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, emphasized, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Therefore, focus on small, achievable goals to cultivate a mindset of growth and possibility. As we move into 2024, let's embrace the Stoic and Sufi wisdom of starting small. In the words of Hafez, "I wish I could show you when you are lonely or in darkness the astonishing light of your own being." Small acts of kindness and self-improvement light up our path, no matter how insignificant they may seem. Remember, every meaningful river starts as a small trickle. 2. Stop letting anxiety control you. We all face an internal storm, one of anxiety, whispering worries about what might go wrong. Marcus Aurelius, a wise Stoic philosopher, once reflected, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." His words remind us that anxiety is not a force we must submit to. It originates from within and can be managed. First, acknowledge your feelings. Understand that anxiety is shaped by your thoughts, not necessarily the world around you. It's like a fog. distorting our perception. Seneca wisely said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This is about seeing through the fog, recognizing the difference between real problems and unfounded fears. Practicing mindfulness is key here. Take a moment, breathe, and ask yourself, is this worry based on what's actually happening or what I fear might happen? Often it's fear, not fact. Rumi once said, "Don't be satisfied with stories, how things have gone with others. Unfold your own myth." This encourages us to write our own stories, not be ruled by our fears. It's also essential to realize that anxiety doesn't prevent future troubles. It often hinders our ability to deal with them. It's like being stuck in a rocking chair, lots of motion, but no progress. As Epictetus stated, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This new year, let's commit to breaking free from the chains of anxiety, approaching life with clarity and a steady heart. Remember, the only storm to weather is within. Just as Hafez said, fear is the cheapest room in the house. I would like to see you living in better conditions. By embracing this wisdom, we can find the strength to overcome the internal storms of anxiety. And for those who want to delve deeper into conquering anxiety, we have a special gift for you. Check out our free course available as a playlist titled Crushing Anxiety in 7 Days, available in the video description below. This course is designed to help you navigate and overcome anxiety with practical daily steps. Don't miss this opportunity to transform your life in just a week. 3. Create a routine. View your day as a blank canvas. Without a plan, it's just an empty space filled randomly. However, with a routine, it becomes a beautiful masterpiece. The true power of a routine isn't in being strict, but in providing a structure to direct your energy efficiently. Seneca, a Stoic thinker, once said, "Our plans miscarry because they have no aim. When a man does not know what harbor he is making for, no wind is the right wind." This means a well-planned day leads to a well-lived life. Crafting your routine isn't about mimicking others, but creating a schedule that resonates with your rhythm. Identify when you're most productive. Are you an early riser, finding peace in the quiet of dawn, or do you find your stride as the day unfolds? Shape your routine around your natural energy flow. Prioritize important tasks when you're most alert and creative. As Marcus Aurelius noted, the whole universe is change and life itself is but what you deem it. This reminds us to take control of our time and how we perceive and use it. Remember, balance is key in a routine. It's not just about work, it's about nourishing your mind, body, and soul. Integrate activities like reading, exercising, or quality time with loved ones. Consistency is crucial in maintaining this balance. As Epictetus said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. This approach helps in forming and sticking to good habits. Embrace the structure of a routine and watch as chaos transforms into a symphony of productivity and peace. Rumi beautifully expressed, "Set your life on fire. Seek those who fan your flames." By living a structured life, we not only organize our days but also ignite our potential, seeking growth in each step. 4. Give yourself the order to stop. There's a story that echoes through time, not about battles or conquests, but about personal victory. Dwight D. Eisenhower, a man whose decisions shaped history, faced a formidable personal challenge: his 4-pack-a-day smoking habit. He was warned of the dire consequences and made a decisive choice to stop, quitting cold turkey after 40 years. This reflects a deep Stoic principle. No man is free who is not master of himself, as Epictetus famously stated. Eisenhower's story is more than just about quitting smoking. It's about overcoming any vice that enslaves us. We all have our struggles, whether it's unhealthy habits, procrastination, or negative thinking. The key to victory is to take command and order yourself to stop. It's about exercising control over your impulses. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, observed, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." This highlights the importance of mastering our inner fears and desires to achieve true freedom. So, how can you apply this to your life? Identify that one thing that's holding you back, be it excessive coffee, endless social media browsing, or any unhelpful habit. Recognize its impact on your life, then make a firm, clear decision to stop. It's not about gradual change, but a decisive, immediate action. When you give yourself the order to stop, you're not just breaking a habit, you're reclaiming your freedom. As you step into 2024, embrace this empowering belief. You are the commander of your destiny, and the first command is to master yourself. Remember Rumi's words, "You were born with wings. Why prefer to crawl through life?" By taking control and breaking free from limiting habits, you're not just making a change, you're soaring to new heights of personal freedom and potential. 5. Free up precious resources. Time. Time, our most valuable asset, is often wasted on trivial matters. We feel short of time, yet a look at how we spend our hours, especially on screens, tells a different story. It's not about needing more time, it's about using the time we have effectively. Stoicism guides us to concentrate on what's crucial. Epictetus, a philosopher known for practical wisdom, said, "If you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." This implies making a conscious decision to avoid getting trapped in unimportant activities like endless scrolling, excessive news consumption, or other digital distractions. The approach here is two-pronged: awareness and action. First, become keenly aware of how you spend your time. Track your activities for a day or a week. You might be surprised by how much time is lost on things that don't add value to your life. This realization is the first step toward change. Next, take decisive steps to reduce these distractions. Set limits on your app usage, designate specific times for news, and avoid aimless internet browsing. This isn't about disconnecting from the world, but about choosing not to be overwhelmed by it. As you reclaim your time, you'll find more of it for what truly matters: pursuing your goals, nurturing relationships, and personal development. This habit is more than time management, it's life management. It's about ensuring that your precious time is spent on activities that enrich, not deplete, your life. As we move into 2024, let's recall Epictetus's words and focus our energy and time on what genuinely contributes to our well-being and growth. Remember, every minute spent on something meaningless is a minute taken from something meaningful. Like Rumi said, "It's your road and yours alone. Others may walk it with you, but no one can walk it for you." By mindfully choosing how we spend our time, we walk a path that's uniquely ours, filled with purpose and personal growth. 6. Do something difficult. At the start of each new year, Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, didn't just make resolutions. He made a powerful statement. He dived into the icy waters of the Tiber River, not for a swim, but as a declaration of mastery over himself. This act wasn't about the cold water, it was about igniting a fire within, a fire of self-assertion and resilience. It's a striking reminder that sometimes doing something difficult can be the most empowering action. So how do we apply this Stoic lesson to our lives? It begins by stepping out of our comfort zone. Choose something that challenges you, something that makes you slightly uneasy. It could be anything: waking up an hour earlier, taking a cold shower, speaking up in a meeting, or learning a new skill. The importance lies not in the task itself, but in the act of pushing beyond your usual limits. It's in these moments of discomfort that we experience the most growth. This is where we discover our true capabilities. The essence of this practice lies not in the difficulty of the task, but in asserting your will over your instincts, proving your inner strength, and showing that you are more than your fears and hesitations. As you embark on this journey of tackling difficult tasks, remember the message that Seneca's actions convey. I control my actions, my reactions, and my mind. Let 2024 be the year where you embrace challenges, proving to yourself that you can do hard things. After all, in the face of challenge, we don't just survive, we thrive. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This year, let your reactions to challenges be a testament to your strength and resilience, just as Rumi encourages us to be like a tree and let the dead leaves drop, letting go of what holds us back and rising to meet our true potential. 7. Associate with people who make you better. The company we keep shapes us more than we often realize. It's like walking through a forest where the paths you choose determine your destination. The Stoics understood the influence of companionship. Seneca, in his letters, emphasized the importance of being around people who inspire growth and wisdom. He wrote, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you." This advice isn't just about choosing friends. It's about selecting influences that mold your character and life. How can you apply this in today's world? Start by closely examining your social circle. Look at the people you spend most of your time with. Do they possess qualities you admire and strive for? It's not about finding perfect people, but about finding those who challenge you, support your growth, and share your values. It's akin to planting yourself in fertile soil where the environment promotes growth. Remember, if you surround yourself with those who have limitations, you may adopt those limitations too. This isn't just about avoiding negative influences, it's also about actively seeking positive ones. Create your own Stoic circle, whether it's a book club, a discussion group, or just a set of friends committed to personal growth. Engage in activities that enrich your mind and soul, discuss ideas, debate philosophically, and challenge each other. As Seneca said, we learn as we teach. By surrounding yourself with people who encourage you to improve, you'll find that you don't just meet expectations, you exceed them. Let 2024 be the year you cultivate your garden of influences, ensuring every person in it brings value to your life's journey. Remember Rumi's words, "Set your life on fire, seek those who fan your flames." This year, let the people around you be those who ignite your potential and help you grow into your best self. 8. Stop fearing change. Embracing change is akin to learning how to ride the waves. If you resist, you might be toppled over, but if you adapt, you'll be carried forward. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, contemplated the nature of change. He understood that life's rhythm is a constant ebb and flow of transformation. By fearing change, we shut ourselves off from the myriad of possibilities and opportunities it brings. It's not just about accepting change, it's about welcoming it with open arms. To incorporate this into your life, start by shifting your perspective. View change not as a threat, but as an inevitable and exciting part of life. It's a chance for growth, learning, and new experiences. This year, challenge yourself to step out of your comfort zone. Try something new, whether it's a hobby, a career move, or even a new way of thinking. It's in these moments of uncertainty and novelty that we often find our most profound growth and satisfaction. Moreover, develop a mindset of adaptability. Like a tree that bends in the wind but doesn't break, learn to be flexible in the face of change. Adaptability doesn't mean being passive. It's about actively finding ways to thrive in new circumstances. As you navigate the changing landscapes of life, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. Let 2024 be the year where you ride the waves of change with skill and grace, turning every new challenge into an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. As Rumi said, "Do not be satisfied with the stories that come before you. Unfold your own myth." This year, embrace the changes and make your own story, one that reflects your growth, adaptability, and the newfound strengths you discover along the way. 9. Say no to the inessential. In a world overflowing with choices and distractions, mastering the art of saying no becomes a vital skill. Marcus Aurelius, an emperor who managed the complexities of an empire, understood the importance of discernment. He observed that much of our actions are not essential. By saying no to the non-essential, we do more than just free up time. We enhance our focus on what truly matters. It's about creating space for the essential by eliminating the clutter. To adopt this in your life, begin by examining your commitments. Do they align with your values and goals? It's easy to get caught up in a whirlwind of busy work that in reality contributes little to our overall purpose. Practice the art of saying no to these distractions. This doesn't mean becoming distant or unhelpful. Rather, it's about setting boundaries that allow you to devote your energy to pursuits that genuinely matter. Remember, every time you say yes to something insignificant, you're indirectly saying no to something important. Change this pattern. Make your yeses meaningful. Say a resounding yes to activities that enrich your life, whether in personal development, relationships, or your passions. This selective yes is not just a response. It's a commitment to excellence in what truly matters. As we move into the new year, let your yes be reserved for what brings you closer to the person you aspire to be. Following Marcus Aurelius's wisdom, ask yourself in every moment, is this necessary? Let 2024 be the year where you refine the skill of declining the non-essential, charting a path towards a life rich in focus, purpose, and deep satisfaction. Echoing the words of Rumi, "It's not about being busy, it's about being productive in what you choose to undertake." Embrace this year with the resolve to say no to the unnecessary and yes to the meaningful, creating a life that resonates with your true self. 10. Come back to rhythm. More Stoic wisdom. Embracing our humanity involves accepting our imperfections and missteps. Marcus Aurelius, a leader adept at navigating the complexities of life and empire, was well aware of the inevitability of faltering. He reflected on the importance of not only getting up when we fall, but also recognizing the beauty in our humanity that allows us to do so. It's an understanding that stumbling is a part of our journey, not a deviation from it. In practical terms, this means adopting a mindset of resilience and forgiveness. When you slip up on your diet, miss a workout, or falter in your resolutions, don't see it as a failure. Instead, view it as an integral part of the growth process. The key lies in how you respond to these setbacks. Do you criticize yourself, or do you acknowledge the misstep and gently guide yourself back on track? Opt for the latter. It's about creating a habit of self-compassion and persistence. Every time you return to your path, you reinforce the habit of resilience. Celebrate your ability to come back to your rhythm, no matter how many times you might lose it. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress and the continuous journey back to what matters. As Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." As we move forward into 2024, let's embrace these Stoic practices not just as concepts, but as daily actions that shape our lives. Remember, the journey towards self-discipline, resilience, and serenity isn't just about understanding Stoicism, it's about living it. Each day presents a new canvas, and your actions are the brushstrokes that paint your life's portrait. So, start today. Choose a practice, perhaps a moment of morning reflection or an act of kindness, and observe how it transforms your world. Your feedback and stories of transformation fuel this journey, keeping it vibrant and evolving. Together, let's explore this path of continual growth and share our experiences, shaping not just our own lives, but also inspiring those around us. Thank you for being a part of this journey, for your support, and for choosing to make each day a step towards a richer, more meaningful life. And don't forget to watch our next video for more insights and inspiration on your journey with Stoicism. Your path to growth continues there.